Hey Pop-Tarts, it's time for a little bit of relaxing and frivolity and a little bit of just looking at things and going ooh and ah. It is a witchy haul. I haven't done a witchy haul in quite some time. I think it's been over a year since my last witchy haul. I'm not big on hauls, to be honest with you, and I don't really go like witchy shopping, or as my friend Room would say, spooky shopping, which I love. Love that expression. I don't really go witchy shopping, as in I don't go out and say to myself I'm absolutely going to allow myself to get, you know, loads and loads of witchy stuff in one go. I'm just going to splash out. I don't really do that. I actually go out more often than not for supplies, things that I know that I'm running out of, things that I know I'm running low on that I actually need to rebuy. And then if I do chance to see something else and I've already kind of agreed with myself that I do have a little bit more of a budget, then I will buy something else. And of course there are those times where I just see something totally off the cuff. I didn't expect to see it and I got really excited about it, and there are one or two things of that nature in this haul as well. And then of course there's the online witchy shopping that I know a lot of us like to partake in, which is so much fun, where we actually can go and check out the wares of our witchy business owner friends that we hang out in the online community, and I do that as well. So there's going to be a little bit of all three of those things. There's going to be a little bit of kind of like general witchy shopping budget, a little bit of the online stuff, and then a little bit of the surprise things that I did not expect to find. Exciting, random witchy shizzle that one can't predict, but when one sees it they just must buy it. So all in all, this is stuff that's been accumulated over maybe the last 6 to 8 months or so, and I'm just going to talk you through a little bit of what I've purchased. Some of it is basic, some of it is exciting. Let's get started. If you follow me on Instagram, then you will already be aware of the fact that I made this very important purchase, but if you don't follow me on Instagram, first of all the link is down below if you want to have a look at my ever expanding collection of photos from the backstage of my life, behind the scenes of my life, and also if you don't follow me on Instagram, you will not yet be aware that I finally bit the bullet and purchased myself a crystal ball, and I'm very, very excited, very happy about it. I knew that I was going to purchase it from my local witchy shop, which you will know if you watch my last Rambling Witch video, but I didn't know when I was next going to be in there. So I went in there to pick up some supplies the other day. I would say it was probably, how long was it ago? 2.5 weeks, maybe 3 weeks ago now. And I went to look at the crystal balls, knowing that if one of them did start winking at me, I would have the money, and this one winked at me. This one more than winked at me. This one actually accosted me. This one grabbed me by the arm and basically said, bitch, you're taking me home. Regretfully, I have actually only done one kind of in-depth hardcore session with the crystal ball so far. There is a reason for that. Obviously when I brought it home I was super excited to get started scrying with it and taking notes and just kind of really delving in, but I was actually kind of finishing a lot of orders and dealing with a lot of emails in preparation to go away for the week to London to stay with some friends, and so I was very, very busy in that week moving up to going to London. So I only had one kind of really serious session, but it was amazing. It was absolutely incredible, and I can't wait to make a dedicated video just about the processes that I've been through with scrying with the crystal ball and the things that I've learned and experienced, because you know, I definitely hit the ground running with this form of divination, with this particular witchy tool. It's really, really cool. I'm really impressed with what came out of my first session. I had a little wee session as well for my new moon, my last new moon ritual, but it was very, very late when I started my new moon ritual, and I knew that I predominantly did want it to be about communing with my matron, so I didn't get too into the crystal ball for the new moon. But now that I'm back and I'm back in the saddle, I'm going to be working throughout the rest of the year, but very, very dedicatedly so throughout August, September and October, in kind of unleashing myself on this incredible tool, which I'm really, really happy that I purchased, and it was worth every single penny. While I was in my local witchy supply store, I also picked up some new crystals. I work with crystals for my tarot readings and oracle readings that I do for clients. I actually select crystals based on the energies and the vibrations that I want to come through in the reading. So I choose the correct correspondences, I choose which crystals I feel are really speaking to the client's issue. And then you'll know if you've ever had a video reading from from me before, or an email reading, that I do actually introduce you to the crystals that are going to be used and let you know what their correspondences are. When I'm working live on Skype, I do tend to just work only with rose quartz, and that will normally be something that I'm holding in my hand or I've got it on my side table. But when I do the video readings and the email readings, I like to get much more into using my crystal associations. So I'm always picking up new things. Now, I've already got a piece of sodalite, but I really wanted a piece of rough sodalite rather than polished. So I grabbed myself a piece of sodalite, and I really love this piece. It really spoke to me. Sodalite is my birthstone, and I feel it's a stone that I'm very connected to and very attracted to in general. So I really, really love this kind of, it's almost on its way to being a kind of arrowhead kind of piece. I really love that. I also bought a snowflake obsidian palm stone. I love snowflake obsidian. It is one of my favourite stones of all time. I would say that obsidian, jet and black tourmaline are kind of the big three for me when it comes to shadow work, release work, and doing all of that kind of deep delving and accepting what's really there, confronting pain, making your peace with things, forgiveness, that kind of stuff. But I think snowflake obsidian also is very important. For me, it's just so representative of the illumination that comes from doing shadow work, and it's representative of our deep down desire to get closer to the truth through doing shadow work. So it's like that torchlight. It fits so perfectly in my hand, and I just knew that I needed to take it home with me. You know, something about snowflake obsidian that I don't think I've mentioned on the channel before that really grips me about it is that it reminds me of being in the car in the passenger seat on a dark rainy night and seeing all of the rain just kind of clashing against the windshield and against the windows, and those droplets of rain kind of running down sideways as though they're having some kind of a race with each other. And then through the rain and around the rain droplets, you just see headlights or street lights or whatever kind of light you're kind of rushing past as you're on your journey. That's what it reminds me of. So there's a very kind of sentimental, nostalgic and kind of very relatable vibe for me as well with just the look of snowflake obsidian. I got some red calcite. I've worked with it a couple of times for clients. I'm really loving it. I didn't really consider the potential value of owning red calcite, but this piece just really spoke to me, so I picked that up. I also picked up a little piece of chrysocolla just to start me off with chrysocolla, because it's not one that I've worked with before. Now, I've not overly examined photographs or kind of specimens, if you like, of chrysocolla before, so I wasn't aware that actually a lot of the specimens that you see online and a lot of the kind of classic or kind of typical images of chrysocolla that you find in books actually present with a much darker green, actually more of a kind of blue green, whereas this is very pale. And this was one of the only pale pieces that was there in the shop, but it is the one that spoke to me. So I've been using that. I've used it for one client reading, and I've used it with meditation a little bit. Okay, let's move into kind of boring, commonplace, run-of-the-mill, garden variety witchcraft kind of supplies that I had to pick up. I did pick up some dragon's blood cones, but actually I've just remembered that I've left them in the kitchen because I was doing some cleansing in the kitchen this morning. But what I do have here are my white sage cones. I've got my nag cones. My matron loves nag. I always burn nag on her side of the altar. And I've also got some super hit nag champa. I'm not keen on this, not really hugely a fan, but my boyfriend is, so he sometimes likes to burn that when I'm not around. I can handle a cone, to be honest, of super hit nag champa. I'm not that keen on the sticks because they go on for longer. I do burn loose incense as well from time to time in my altar, but I haven't purchased any loose recently. I picked up a candle snuffer. Is that what you call it? A candle snuffer? I picked it up from a charity shop. Just a standard black candle snuffer. I really like to blow out my candles. I don't have a thing against blowing out candles. For me, it doesn't really feel like it's doing anything weird with the energy. I know a lot of people do have that opinion, and I think that's totally valid, but for me, it's not really a problem. I actually quite enjoy blowing out candles, to be honest with you. However, I do worry about blowing out the candle collection that I have in the centre of my altar towards the back of the altar, because I just feel like I have to blow very kind of gently to make sure that that little spits of wax don't kind of go onto the back wall or go onto my picture of Joan of Arc. So I thought it might be quite cool to just have a candle snuffer so I can lean over at the back when I've finished whatever I'm doing and just kind of snuff out the candles without worrying about getting wax everywhere. My wonderful friend Madame Jonquil made me a little sample a while ago of her hell oil that she makes herself. and I remember cracking it open for the very first time and putting some in my burner and just immediately feeling so invigorated and so lit up. It was unreal. I just loved this scent. It was such an incredible oil, and as soon as the heat started to take it and kind of rise it up into the room, the whole energy, the whole atmosphere just changed. It's so reminiscent of a lot of the feelings that I have about my matron, a lot of the kind of associations I have with her energy. And when I got to the end of this little kind of sample bottle that she very kindly sent me as a gift, I knew I just had to have more of that good shit. If you follow me on Instagram, then you will already have seen this, but if you haven't, can you please just witness how special it is? Look, she's put a little tiny skull inside. Oh, it's so cute. I love the fact that there is a little skull in this bottle. That just absolutely drives me insane. That's too good. It's the black pepper that does it. It's... oh god. Sorry, that got a bit sexual there, didn't it? If you want to check out Madame Jonquil's Etsy shop, I will leave the link for you below. Now back to the kind of dull, run-of-the-mill garden variety witch thing. I use a lot of rose water. I picked up some triple strength rose water, so that was something I purchased. Not necessarily exciting, but you know, it is something that I use, and I very much associate it with my relationship with the Blessed Virgin and also my relationship with the Divine Feminine Principle in general. Again, another kind of not very exciting witchy supply thing. I picked up another oil burner because I now have a altar space in the living room and I really wanted to be able to burn oil there as well, so I picked up another oil burner. I do have my main one, which is red, on my working altar. Who else gets super into purchasing decorative bottles to keep their oils and their spell supplies and stuff in? Now, I am a big re-washer and reuser of jars and bottles. In fact, I have 3 at the moment. I have a jar and 3 gorgeous bottles on the side that I am kind of taking the paper off of as we speak, because I want to use them. So it's not as if I don't use containers that I already have. I am fond of a recycled receptacle, a repurposed receptacle, if you will. But from time to time I do also see a little bottle here or there in a secondhand store that I really like the look of, that I just need to have. In fact, I keep my storm water in just such a bottle. This gorgeous little bottle that I keep on my altar that has my storm water in it for my oil burner, this was actually filled with bath salts, and I got this from a thrift store, and I just kind of changed it up, took the salt out and put some storm water in there. So I do from time to time find myself a little treasure, and recently I found this gorgeous blue bottle in a secondhand shop, so I picked that up. I'm really pleased with that. That's for my new altar. I also picked up another bottle. This was not secondhand, this was actually from Poundland. I went into Poundland to pick up some trail mix. A little tip for vegans, vegetarians, or just health conscious people among you who like to eat trail mix. I know it can get expensive, and I know it's something that can be kind of a little bit taxing on the pocket. If you go to Poundland and you kind of look in there, they have kind of like a little Whole Foods section that just has like pumpkin seeds and, I don't know, yogurt covered bananas and stuff like that. They have a really nice trail mix. It's really delicious, and they charge £1 a pack, and I like to go in there just to stock up on the trail mix. And this particular day I went in to get trail mix, and this bottle caught my eye, and I did not want to leave without it because it looks very similar to the green glass that my kind of 50s night table set is made out of. I'll leave the link below to a past vlog that I've done, like a past video scrapbook that I've done, where I actually show you guys my gorgeous vintage 1950s dressing table set, which is made out of green glass, and I absolutely love it. I keep it on my working altar, and it just gives such a gorgeous vibe and such a nice kind of a nice kick to my altar space, and I thought that this would go really nicely with it as well. So I'm probably going to be keeping, again, either some of the oil that I make in this or possibly rose water in this, I don't know. I do have another thrifted bottle that I really love that I keep my rose water in. I'll just lean over and grab that so you can see that. This perfume bottle that I also thrifted a very long time ago, probably 6 or 7 years ago now, is what I keep my rose water in on my altar, and it does have the little dabber thingy, and I really like it. I just think it's very delicate and cute and quirky, and I actually keep my rose water in this at the Mo. Oh, lovely. I'm just a real magpie for a bottle. I don't know what it is. Don't get me wrong, there's plenty of bottles I've seen over the years that I haven't picked up because I'm not in the market for a bottle, but every so often I will just let myself go bottle crazy. That makes me sound a bit like an alcoholic, but you know what I mean. Chimes. I got these chimes at a really nice kind of like hippie shop in Canterbury, and really pleased with them. I've been using them for meditations and rituals. I used them for a private video that I sent out to my newsletter subscribers. I'm going to be using it more and more. I'm going to be using the chimes more. I'm going to be uploading some videos to the Thank You Kiss client only access blog thingy that I send out to clients using these chimes. These are going to become a lot more kind of integral to the plot of some of the guided stuff that I'm going to be doing and some of the supportive counselling stuff that I'm going to be doing. I'm going to be starting a new series on Thank You Kiss, which is going to be geared towards soul messages from the cards, and I'm going to be using these babies. So they're getting a lot of action at the moment, I must admit. They're really putting me in the zone. So I was walking past a charity shop a couple of weeks ago. I had no intention of walking in, but I had that spidey sense witchy thing that you have where you just know that you need to walk into a place because there is something there for you and you don't know what it's going to be or what exactly it is that you're expecting to find there, but you just know that something is there that's got your name on it. Now at the very moment that I had this witchy sense that I needed to go into this shop, I was actually kind of having a little communion with my patron deity, and I was kind of asking him in a way to please make it known to me whether or not he wanted me to go ahead and do a particular thing to honour him. And I was just kind of saying like, hey, divine masculine in this particular guise that I know and love, if you want to come forward and give me a nudge, please do so. I'd be more than happy to know that you're there and you're into this idea. And actually I walked immediately into this charity shop and I saw something that was evidently a sign that was clearly for me, that was put there with my fucking name on it. So that was something. I didn't end up buying that object because I didn't need to, but I knew that it was very much a divine masculine download, and that really excited me. But then I thought to myself, now as cool as that is, and as much as my heart is palpitating right now from having this incredible transpersonal experience of connection to my patron, I know that there is also something else here for me. I know that it wasn't just that. I know that something else wants to come out of the woodwork. So I started looking around this charity shop thinking, where is this thing? What do I need? And it was so weird because I saw on the second shelf down at the back of the room the Cosmic Deck of Initiation, which is a 52 full colour circular mandala card deck by Barbara M. DeLong, complete with instructions. Now, obviously I got this from a charity shop, so it was super cheap, but this was actually something that I wanted to spend full whack on at another point in my local witchy shop, but I didn't have the cash at the time. And when I went in the next time, I wasn't really in the market for anything either. I didn't want to get myself a present. I just wanted to get myself standard, supplies, just stocking up kind of thing. So I've walked past it a couple of times at full price and thought, oh, it's not today. Today's not the day. And then weirdly I saw it in the charity shop for £1.50. So I've been working with it at my new living room altar, which admittedly is a little sparse at the moment and not fully worked out yet. But I've been working with these mandala cards and they're absolutely gorgeous. And I'm so, so pleased that I managed to pick them up. They're lovely. This one says Threshold. And this one says Capricorn. They have each of the zodiac signs, and they also have each of the universal laws as well. The law of karma is here. Crown, so it has each of the chakras as well. Such a gorgeous deck for reflection and contemplation. Taurus. How lush is this? Universal love. This morning I drew Universal Compassion, which was so relevant to what was going on for me in that moment when I was sitting at my living room altar. It was just perfect, so I'm really, really pleased that I got to pick these up. I actually originally wanted this deck so that I could make some crystal grids using it as a centerpiece, and I think I might still do that. I wanted to do spell work with these. Again, I think I might still do that. I think these are obviously very decorative, very aesthetically pleasing. They would look great on the altar. I think they would really give a huge boost and a huge impact to spell work, so I think you can definitely consciously use these and meditate on them and go into the trance state to do spell work using these. I think you could choose whichever one kind of helps you to channel the intentions that you have in mind for your spell work or for your ritual, whatever it is. So I'm definitely going to move on after a while from using these in a kind of random draw, daily draw kind of way, to using them in a much more intentional way for spell work and so on. I want to talk to you now about the Spiritually Mature Witch, 5 Keys to Unlocking Your Personal Power by the gorgeous Joanna DeVoe, who has been a friend and supporter of mine for the longest time. And I purchased the Spiritually Mature Witch, which is the first ebook, full-length ebook that she published last year. I purchased it the moment that it came out. I was so excited to read this, and of course I've printed it and I've thumbed through it, and I've made notes, and I've worked with it using my journal and my book of mirrors as well. This is an incredible ebook. I hugely recommend that you purchase it. It is well worth the money. It is such a holistic and wonderful overview of what it really means to be a spiritually mature witch and what it means to use your personal power in magic. Each of the 5 keys that Joanna writes about in this ebook is so illuminating and so potent, and the thing that I love about the way that she's written this ebook is that it's no nonsense, there's no ambiguity, it is very clear, it is crystalline in the things that it puts forward to you, the ideas that it posits to you, the advice that it gives. And I really felt the first time that I reached the end of this ebook that I was suitably empowered, and I felt suitably renewed and psychologically regenerated, and I felt better able to deal with the challenges that I had in front of me at that time. So it is one to read and reread. It is definitely one to go through if you want to do some shadow work or some work on personal power, if you want to set up boundaries, if you want to become a more empowered witch, if you want to become more empowered in life, in your art, whatever it is, and you consider yourself to be a witch, then the Spiritually Mature Witch is definitely something that I'd recommend picking up. It's just something that I hugely enjoyed. Thank you so much, Joanna, for writing it and birthing it into the world for us. My tea came from Asali Earthwork. I'm super excited about this tea. It just smells gorgeous. It is absolutely delicious. It is a taste sensation. And one of the things that I love most of all about receiving these teas from Asali Earthwork is that I felt so fucking money when they came through the post. I really feel like if you're going to buy yourself artisan tea that is made with so much power and so much intention and so much meaning behind it, then let's face it, you're buying yourself a gift. You're buying yourself something to make you feel like a fucking queen, to make you feel like gorgeous and sumptuous and in touch with the moment and in love with the power of the unfolding moment. The whole purpose of buying yourself something like this is that it's a gift for yourself to kind of fuel you with that sense of joy and regeneration. It's to heal yourself, it's to inspire yourself. That's what it's for. So imagine my surprise and my delight when the teas came through and they looked like this, and I was like, ooh, it's time for tea. Let me get that teapot out. Yes. Like I said, these are gorgeously presented. They are gorgeously packaged. They smell absolutely stunning. And they make a damn fine cup of tea. Oh my god. I purchased the Emperor and I also purchased Rebirth. A lot of Asali Earthworks teas are actually named after tarot cards, and they really do channel the energy of that intended tarot card, and I think that's something that's really cool. If you want to treat yourself to some bling loose tea, you could do a hell of a lot worse than Asali Earthwork. I will leave the website below. Check it out. Oh, don't you just love to treat yourself from time to time? I know I do. Bloody lush. Okay, I'm going to quickly talk you through some books that I purchased recently. I'm not going to go into great depth because I am planning on beginning, probably on the other side of Self-Love September in fact, a series which is going to basically allow me to drink beer and shoot the shit about books and get in depth about the books that I'm reading, the books that I'm enjoying. I don't know when that will be. Like I said, it is definitely going to be on the other side of September because at the moment everything is geared towards preparing for Self-Love September, of course, but I am planning to speak more about books, so I don't want to go into mad depth about the books that I've purchased, but I have purchased them, and this is a witchy haul, so I will let you know what I've bought. Oops. Yeah, book shopping may have occurred, guys. I went to Treadwell's bookshop in London with the gorgeous Cam from the Rook's Hollow, who I've been friends with since 2012. We go back a long way. And we went to Treadwell's together and we had a bloody good time. It was awesome, and I might have spent just a little bit of money, So I'm going to talk you briefly through what I purchased. I'm not going to go into, you know, the synopsis or the blurbs for everything because, like I said, there is a series coming. So the first book I picked up was The Cult of the Black Virgin, which is, as some of you may already know, an acclaimed study of the history and the meaning of the Black Madonna and the cult of the Black Madonna. If you don't know what that is, you can look it up. I got really interested in it through reading Reveal by Megan Watterson. Before I read that book, I didn't know about the cult of the Black Virgin, and I was super excited to discover more about it. This book actually examines the potential links with paganism and, you know, where it all originated from and why the Black Virgin has been so consistently interesting to so many people. So I'm really going to enjoy this read. That's going to be really awesome for me. I am somebody who has consistently maintained a close relationship with the Blessed Virgin, and I certainly am interested in looking at the different ways in which her energy and her archetype has manifested throughout time and throughout different civilizations and different cultures. So that's going to be a really cool read. I got Chaotopia by Dave Lee, which is a chaos magic book with a really cool, incredible collage on the front of it. On the back, Peter J. Carroll calls it a highly intelligent book by a leading chaos magician. So, you know, need I say more? Of course, that's going to be amazing. This book I'm super excited about. It's called Women's Voices in Magic, edited by Brandy Williams. And this is a series of essays written by women about their role in the craft, about how they feel about being a woman in the craft. There are so many interesting looking essays in here. I literally cannot wait to read them and enjoy them. This looks like a really, really cool read. I bought another collection of essays, conversations and interviews as well. This is called Frontiers of Psychedelic Consciousness by David J. Brown, and it has the really classic and cool picture of Albert Hoffman on the front with his beloved cat. Albert Hoffman to me is a legend. There's also some other important names in this book, Stanislav Grof being one of them, another hero of mine, Terence McKenna, a hero of mine. This just looks so interesting and so fucking cool, so I can't wait to have a look through and have a read. It's finally happened. I've finally purchased Book of Lies, The Disinformation Guide to Magic and the Occult. This is edited by Richard Metzger with a preface by Grant Morrison, the one and only, and this is a book that I have been encouraged to purchase for bloody ages. So many people have made this recommendation to me, and I finally picked it up at Treadwell's. It probably wasn't the cheapest place that I could have picked it up, but I really wanted to support this incredible, fabulous occult bookshop. So I finally got Book of Lies. This is basically a grimoire that's designed for chaotes and psychonauts and freewheeling freestyle magicians, you know. This is basically a 21st century grimoire, and it looks pretty much off the fucking chain, guys, so super excited about that. I did dip in while I was in London, but I didn't have a great deal of time, but I'm looking forward to really absorbing it and getting into it. Finally, I went to the Tate Modern a couple of times while I was in London, once with Cam and once with some of my other friends at a later time in the week. And the second time I went, I checked out the books in the gift shop, and I picked up this incredible looking book by Phil Baker called Austin Osman Spare, The Life and Legend of London's Lost Artist. And I actually ended up having a really interesting conversation with the guy at the counter who sold me this book, and he wanted to know more about Austin Osman Spare. And I did not know that this biography of Austin Osman Spare existed, and it looks incredible, it looks in depth, it looks like it's a very dedicated work with a lot of bite to it, and there are I don't want to crack the spine. I'm one of those people that likes to crack the spine as I read, and if I crack the spine before I read, then like the world might end and everything might shatter, and I might find out that my whole life has been a fucking illusion. But yeah, if you can kind of just see without me cracking the spine, there are some gorgeous, gorgeous repros of Austin Osman Spare's work in there as well. So I'm really, really excited to get to grips with this. Austin Osman Spare, if you don't know, is commonly known as one of the granddaddies of chaos magic and the inventor of sigil magic, so a very important character in the occult, but also somebody that left their mark in the art world too, although only half a footprint. That's why the subheading is The Life and Legend of London's Lost Artist. Austin Osman Spare lived his life in such a way that he was more about the experience of it than creating a legacy from it, and that's something that I've always found so interesting about him, along with a great many other things about him that are just so delicious and intriguing. So I'm really looking forward to reading this. And yes, before anybody asks, because I know some people have asked on Instagram, there will be reviews of all of this shizzle. There will be reviews of every single book. I know, there will be reviews, calm down. Sorry, the seagulls around here are real bibliophiles. I know that there is probably something that I have forgotten. I'm pretty sure there is something I've forgotten. I'm probably going to turn the camera off and then think, damn, I really wanted to talk about that. But never mind, I think this is plenty enough for now. I think that you've gotten the idea. I think you've gotten the gist. I'll tell you what, Lauren, when you make oil, you are not fucking about, honey. This shit is peng. 100% money to the maximum. Excuse me while I go and burn some of this. I hope you enjoyed this witchy haul. I know that so many of you out there do enjoy a good witchy haul. I know you like to sit back and just look at other people's wares and check out the things they've picked up. So I hope this has been enjoyable for you. Thank you so much for watching. Much love, guys. Blessed be.